Dün Bugün Yarın'la yeniden karşınızdayız sayın seyirciler. Bu yayını Londra'dan yapıyoruz ve 2016'dan beri son 3 senedir Avrupa Birliği'nin gündeminde Brexit var biliyorsunuz. Britanya Avrupa Birliği'nden ayrılacak mı, ayrılmayacak mı? Hem Avrupa hem tüm dünya bu sorunun yanıtını bekliyor ve süreç nasıl işleyecek? Bu sorunun yanıtını bekliyor tüm dünya aslında. Biz de burada değerli bir stratejistle, Corporate Vision CEO'su Nicolas De Santis'le hem Brexit sürecini, Britanya'yı neler bekliyor, Avrupa Birliği'ni neler bekliyor, süreç nasıl ilerleyecek, hem Avrupa Birliği'ni, çünkü kendisi aynı zamanda Avrupa Birliği uzmanı, ve tabii ki Brexit uzmanı. Şimdi sözü fazla uzatmadan hem Brexit'in dününü, bugünün yarınını, hem Avrupa Birliği'ni, hem Türkiye'nin Avrupa Birliği için önemini, Avrupa için önemini ve konumunu konuşacağız. Nicolas De Santis, welcome to our TV program.
Thank you very much.
To Dün Bugün Yarın, which means yesterday, today and tomorrow.
Fantastic.
So we are hoping to get your evaluation on the issue of Brexit. Brexit's yesterday, today and tomorrow, the future.
Perfect.
And also on EU and Turkey's role in EU and importance within EU. We will all take, your answers, and we will listen to your valuable evaluations.
Fantastic.
First of all, I would like to start with Corporate Vision and what you do here.
Yes, Corporate Vision is a firm of strategists. We develop the strategies and vision for countries, companies in many sectors. We develop new business models, innovation. And also what we took is the problem of the brand of Europe as one of our things.
When you say brand of Europe, what does it include?
Well, it means that we believe the brand of Europe at the moment is very weak. So we're helping strengthen the brand that, and the weakness led to Brexit. So in this country, people did not understand the brand of Europe, and that's why they voted to leave. So the European Union has a very weak brand, and we need to make it strong. And that's what we're doing from Corporate Vision, to help make the brand of Europe strong.
And the identity of EU, how it has been perceived these days?
Well, the identity of the EU has been changing since the creation, since the 50s, 1950s, and especially when new countries joined in the European Union. But today people are, I think, confused. We have confused identities between even national identities. We have issues in Catalonia, as you know, with Spain and in other countries. And Brexit has shown that people don't understand Europe as a unit of people. And we have to help the EU have a better image.
We will come back to the EU topic,
Yes.
including Turkey, further during our interview. But now that there were the news few weeks last week that the Brexit has been again postponed till the EU negotiations till the end of October 2019. What will be the outcome of this process? What are your predictions as a strategist?
Well, I predicted that we were going to lose the referendum, and we lost it. And I'm predicting that Brexit will never happen. So I don't believe Brexit's possible, just because if you think in systems, there's so many things attached to the European Union from the UK or any country, that's impossible to be detached. So I think the result will be another referendum to vote to stay or leave the EU.
So this referendum will be happening within few months.
Within a few months.
Till October.
Yes, because now we have European elections, European Parliament elections in May. That will also show what's happening in this country about the last 3 years. And I think eventually we will go to ask the people again if they want to leave or stay in the EU.
So you are 90% sure about this, that it won't be happening?
I'm 100% sure.
100%.
Yeah. Because
what makes you say this? Could you
well, before
say this in more details, please?
Yes, because before, see, we have 3 years of learning since the referendum. It's almost 3 years. And this government has tried for 3 years, the UK government, to leave.
Since March 2016.
That's right. So
yes.
They tried to leave in every way. I don't think they didn't understand how big this job is. And in fact, we reached the point where the date for departure has passed and they couldn't leave and they had to ask for extensions. This is why. It's because it is very difficult to leave. I mean, one professor in university in Germany, he said it's easier to go to the moon, the project of going to the moon, than leaving the European Union. As a project management issue, it's easier to go to the moon than Brexit. So they tried, but they can't do it. We have 3 years of learnings.
Theresa May has been a lot criticized, and it's still criticized on how her policies of handling this question, this process was and is. Do you believe this has given power to the Labour Party?
It's given party to not just the Labour Party, but also
like a sort of strength.
Yes, but also
and credibility.
It's given them let's say an alternative position. But the Labour Party is not pro-Remain. They're still thinking today what their position should be. But what this is actually done is strengthen the far right. So the ones that are getting stronger is the far right, because the referendum said we had to leave, and we haven't left. The populist view is democracy is failing, and the far right is rising now with this, which is very bad for this country.
And Theresa May resigning or not resigning, this is a question still discussed.
Yes.
Within Britain here. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe she is going to be resigning soon or no?
No, I don't think she's going to be resigning, but it doesn't matter because it's out of her hands. Nobody's in control of the Brexit process now. So Theresa May and her cabinet are not in control. The Parliament is not in control. So I think Brexit now is in no man's land. It's moving around like a beast, but nobody's in control. So even if she resigned, whoever would take her job would not be better at the job.
And when we look at this, at Brexit, from the side of EU, what are your thoughts on an EU without Britain? What will be the outcome of this for EU? Will it be good or bad, pros, cons? What do you think?
Well, I believe any country leaving the EU is a bad thing, but 27 together can survive. I mean, we're talking about 27 nations that are together. So if we lost the UK, and as you know, the UK wants to maintain a relationship, the EU would survive, and maybe it would go even faster. Because one of the problems of the EU is that UK is skeptic of Europe.
Yes.
But if we lost the UK, we'd probably be more going faster towards federal Europe.
Yes.
We can survive without the UK, but we would prefer the UK to be in.
And EU these days, how do you see it? Within the EU, there is sort of a division. They are talking about between East and West. Is it so? And on EU identity?
Yes, a very good point. I
think
think
are they losing this nationalistic feeling and those emotions when it was created and founded, compared to the beginning of EU?
I think what they need is this is what we do at Brand EU in terms of trying to help them build a stronger brand of Europe, because the EU is a very large bloc of countries with 500 million people. If you don't strengthen the identity, you'll have little pockets going in different directions. So that's why I believe the vision of Europe and the identity and the brand are very important. And Europe at the moment is a still an amazing project with one of the biggest currencies in the planet, the euro. And it's an amazing market of 500 million people. Even for Turkey, it's an amazing position. So Europe will stay, but it needs to improve its brand and identity.
And here behind you we see Captain Euro.
Captain Euro.
It's like a sort of cartoons.
Yes.
Could you tell us more about this Captain Euro? The Grand Canal Venice Adventure, for example, here we see.
Yes, we created Captain Euro, which is Europe's superhero, because to create a new identity, you need different projects. You need advertising campaigns, but a superhero is a very good tool to talk to different audiences about Europe.
Do they know now about this superhero, or did it come out yet, or it's going to?
No, Captain Euro is been relaunched because Captain Euro was used to launch the euro currency in the 1990s.
Yes.
But because the problem of identity is still today, we relaunched it with new adventures. So he's a European superhero with comic strips, comic books, merchandising, licensing, to communicate about the power of being united as peoples. So that Captain Euro is trying to create a concept of unity of peoples, more countries.
For more countries.
Yeah.
And also kind of educative,
yes.
no?
Totally.
Yes.
It's an education.
For those who don't seem to have lots of knowledge on the issue, on the...
Yes, because they use a bureaucratic concept, it's boring. So we're making it fun. And this is one of the critical things. You cannot go to people trying to make them excited about something if it's bureaucracy talk.
Yes.
So Captain Euro is about fun.
So let's come to Turkey and Turkey's position within the EU. We know that you give a lot of speeches, especially around Europe, within Europe, in different institutions, on EU and on Brexit. How are your lectures on EU? First of all, I like to hear that, and Turkey's role and importance for EU.
Yes. Well, my lectures are to actually starting from a base to show people what European identity is, so they can identify with Europe, because it's always a question, do I feel European or not? And if I do feel European, why? So I ask this question to the audience. So my presentations are to show people that they need to discover Europe, because there is an undiscovered Europe. Europeans use Europe every day, but they don't realize it. They travel freely, they study wherever they want, they work wherever they want, they use the euro. So for them, it's already there, but the brand is not that strong. So my talks are about making the brand strong. And in terms of Turkey, I've always been a fan of Turkey, and Turkey is in Europe. So that's the first thing I say. Yes, a lot of Turkey is in Europe. Historically, the Roman Empire of the East was based out of Constantinople. So we have a historic, geographic, and cultural attachment. And today, the reality is Turkey is the fifth largest trading partner of the European Union.
Fifth largest?
Yes, it's the fifth largest partner of Europe. It's after America, China, Switzerland, comes Turkey, and then after that comes Brazil, South Korea. So it's a very important partner of the European Union.
And Turkey is a big asset for EU.
It's a big asset. Yes. But Turkey also depends from the EU, because 40% of the global trade of Turkey is European Union. So we are united in trade. And Turkey has been getting into the European Union since the 60s with the Ankara Agreement.
Ongoing negotiations.
For the accession, yes, but I think, Turkey has to look at Europe as an opportunity, and we have to look at Turkey as an opportunity. And eventually, one day, maybe we can have Turkey join the European Union as a partner. It's already NATO, which is one of our partnerships. So I believe the role of Turkey is very close to Europe or inside the European Union, because we provide already this amount of trade. And also, I think that culturally, we are very similar. Although our religions might be different, but as peoples, we believe in the same values
Yes.
of peace, democracy, and so on.
Why do you believe? What is the biggest challenge within this situation as to why Turkey has still not been accepted to Europe, to EU?
Well, I think it's two things. One is image, and the other one, I think, is ignorance of people of Turkey. So if you
Lack of knowledge.
lack of knowledge of Turkey, yes. So those two things. Remember, I said before, people in the referendum there was a lot of lies about Turkey. So I believe that Turkey has to do a much better job at creating an image of Turkey in the world. But the EU has to do a job to show people that Turkey is what it is. It's a power nation in the world, trading with many nations. And it's very important strategically for security, for all of us.
Mr. Dos Santis, you have also met with our president many years ago, I believe.
Yes, I met Erdogan about 10 years ago in Madrid in a geopolitical conference, and we talked specifically about the European Union and Turkey. He's a pro-European, Erdogan. He believes in the European Union as a trading bloc and an ally of Turkey. And we discussed also the role of Turkey and Europe in the Mediterranean to develop further security. So, because also Turkey is a member of NATO, you know, the discussion was clearly that NATO is...
great ally of...
Yes, so Turkey and Europe really are allies and should be coming closer together in many areas, which is part of the discussions that are still ongoing on the accession negotiations.
Within few years' time, what is expected for Turkey from your own point of view in terms of the relations with EU?
I think
what could be done, or what? You know?
Well, what could be done, I think, it's modernization, because the European Union, first and foremost, the EU is based on peace, democracy, and the rule of law. So the more Turkey improves on the rule of law, on improving the legal system, the better it will be for Turkey to join the EU. So democracy, Turkey is a democracy, but it needs to strengthen the rule of law and its constitutional system. This is one of the most important things.
Do you have any messages to our viewers, because we are coming to the end of the interview?
Well, that to the viewers in Turkey, that Turkey is our friend. We love Turkey. I'm a big visitor of Turkey. I believe that the Turkish people and the Europeans are brothers and sisters, and we welcome you to come to Europe and visit and trade with us and work with us.
Mr. Nicolas Dos Santis, thank you very much for this very interview.
Thank you very much.
Evet sayın seyirciler, dün bugün yarının sonuna geldik. Değerli bir stratejist olan Nicolas Dos Santis ile hem Brexit'i konuştuk, hem Avrupa Birliği'ni konuştuk. Türkiye'nin AB için olan önemini konuştuk. Kendisi de çok istiyor ve destekliyor. Türkiye'yi bir gün Avrupa Birliği üyesi olarak görmek isteriz dedi. Bunu ifade etti. Bir sonraki programda yeniden karşınızda olmak üzere. Şimdilik hoşça kalın.